One of 4 flyways in North America, the Pacific Flyway is an aerial superhighway traveled by 1 billion migratory birds every year. It stretches 10,000 nautical miles from the Arctic to Patagonia. Central to the Pacific Flyway, the Suisun Marsh northeast of San Francisco Bay provides a vital stopover for migrating birds. Adjacent to one of California's busiest freeways with more than 280,000 vehicles per day passing by, the Pacific Flyway Center, whose mission is to inspire conservation of the flyway, sits at an ideal interface between human culture and a globally significant natural area. In California, the Pacific Flyway is home to about 6 million waterfowl. The state lost about 95% of its historic wetlands to development before the decline was halted by far-sighted statutes such as the North American Wetlands Conservation Act. Today, more than half of winter habitat for waterfowl and shorebirds in California is provided by flooded rice fields and other managed wetlands, and the state has thousands of acres of inland and coastal wetlands like the Suisun Marsh. A dramatic building with a form symbolic of wings of flight rises as a beacon to motorists and provides backdrop for visitors who get an introduction to wetlands and waterfowl as they approach. The buildings provide an acoustic and environmental buffer from freeway noise and overlook the main attraction, an outdoor park where visitors come face to face with waterfowl and other wetland birds. Inspiration for the Pacific Flyway Center was drawn from the Wildfowl and Wetlands Trust in the United Kingdom, where nature experiences and learning range from children's outdoor play areas to low-impact trails and blinds where birders and photographers can observe and photograph wildlife in the natural wetlands. An eastern view wall is a composition of insulated transparent and translucent glazing and solar shading to take in the vast panorama of the Suisun Marsh while mitigating heat gain and loss and avoiding bird mortality. Southern exposure is protected from summer heat with overhangs calculated to allow appropriate low-angle winter solar gain. Ground-level exhibits include a diorama stretching the entire length of the Pacific Flyway, an interactive Suisun Marsh tide model, an exhibit of duck decoys and wildlife art from all the states in the Flyway, aviaries, and a giant screen flight experience theater. On the second floor, classroom spaces accommodate school groups and educational programs, and open design with catwalks provides an overview of both exhibits and the marsh itself. A lookout platform some 50 feet above ground forms the tip of the wing and affords spectacular views. This iconic uplifting roof wing is a symbolic beacon for miles and gracefully incorporates a huge photovoltaic array to supply the building's power. Prior to entering the building, the visitor is already introduced to wetlands and waterbirds as foreground to this powerful architectural shape. A grand curved wall divides the space into both daylit and light-controlled exhibit areas. Oriented right with the world, a map in the floor follows the Pacific coastline from pole to pole. Painted, digital, and projection backdrops, microenvironment settings, and mounted species tell the story of migration along the Pacific Flyway. A hands-on hydrologic model allows people to create their own ebb and flow in this vast tidal marsh. An aviary houses colorful birds from tropical habitats farther south along the Flyway. And a butterfly aviary makes the point that animals other than birds also use the Flyway. Upstairs provides classroom and lab space where staff and volunteers help children and parents engage in hands-on exploration of the natural sciences. In keeping with the center's focus on conservation of the Flyway, each visitor will be offered an introductory membership to a conservation organization such as the National Audubon Society, Ducks Unlimited, and the California Waterfowl Association. Second-story catwalks offer a bird's-eye view of the exhibit floor and a high perch to look into the aviaries. These catwalks slope towards a high observation deck and access outdoor viewing platforms overlooking the marsh. Across from the main entrance, a state-of-the-art flight experience theater will host educational programs. In the theater, lower-level cinema seating and upper-level flight simulators combine with an IMAX-style curved screen to allow visitors to experience firsthand the migration of birds along the Pacific Flyway. The southern wing, with its own entry, is flanked by the center's retail store and food service. This wing, smaller but no less dramatic, will have the flexibility to serve cafeteria-style daily family meals, yet can be configured to provide an elegant venue for private event bookings, including evening events. These events, which are very popular, offer a more intimate after-hours experience for a smaller number of guests. The Pacific Flyway Center, the vision of Ken Hoffman, is in the planning and design phase of its development. In the months ahead, we will be working with our board, wetland experts, agency staff, legislators, and a network of supporters and donors to bring this vision to life. The center will be a gift to the public, a beacon for conservation of the Flyway, and a tremendous legacy for those who helped make it a reality.